very traditional pastry from Austria. It's called the Linzertorte, and it takes the name after the city of Linz. It's a very short pastry, as in very crumbly, and we are going to achieve it basically by creaming the ingredients and preparing a dough. Okay, so now we'll talk about the ingredients which we are going to use for our Linzertorte. We are going to use 250 grams of refined flour here, then 200 grams of butter, 150 grams of powder sugar, 125 grams of almond powder. We are going to use one egg. Actually, we require 42 grams, so you can use a small egg. Then we have 125 grams of raspberry jam. You can use apricot jam also, or any other preserve which you have. Then we are going to use some flaked almonds for garnish, and we are going to also add vanilla essence. Now we are going to start making the pastry. So what we will do is we will start creaming the margarine or butter. Here you cannot use margarine, you have to use butter. Now this is called a Linzertorte. Now what is the meaning of the word torte? Torte is a rich cake. It's a German word which means a rich cake, a layered cake. But here in this Linzertorte, there is no layer. It's just one layer. Okay. So cream the butter a little bit. Soften up the butter. You don't have to cream it too much, okay, for this. I'm just trying to soften the butter. Once this is softened, bring everything to the base of the bowl. Then, after that, we'll start adding the sugar. Again, sugar I'm going to add in 2 parts, because I just told you that there's not too much of a creaming here. We do not want any aeration here. This is very important. Pushing everything to the base of the vessel or bowl, to the base, so that you again start creaming. Then I'm going to add the next batch. That's it. I'm going to break 1 egg, and I'm going to add half of it. Beat it lightly. To add a little bit of vanilla essence. Mix this in. Then I'm going to add half of it by approximation. Okay, don't add too much, otherwise what's going to happen is the dough will become too soft. That's it. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add the flour and the almond powder. And there's a little salt here. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt to the flour. Okay. Add the flour and add the almond powder. Again, I told you this is almond powder with skin. Now I'm going to use a wooden spoon only. I'm just going to mix it. And then I'll clean the wooden spoon and mix with the help of a spatula. I told you this is not a cake batter. We are forming a dough. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take out the wooden spoon and I'm going to use the spatula. And then my hand to mix. Don't waste anything, clean up everything and then mix. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to take this out, the dough, and place it on the table and bring it all together. This is done. Don't over handle it, okay? Just a little bit. Now, it's really very soft. What I am going to do is, I am going to place this on a Swiss roll tray and I am going to keep it in the fridge for say half an hour for it to thicken up a little bit. I am going to divide this into two parts and I am going to place it on a Swiss roll tray like this. And you see, this is very soft. I will not be able to roll it up. So to harden up the butter a little bit, I have to keep it in the fridge. So I will just keep it in the fridge and after half an hour, I will just show you how to proceed. Now what we have done is that we have kept this in the fridge, the dough, I have taken it out. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to line this pie dish with this pastry. Okay, so it's a loose bottom pie dish. You can use any pie dish of a pie dish of any size. Now this is what I am going to use. So what I'll do is, I'll just touch the table a little bit. Then we roll it up. Be very careful, it might stick to the table. So, what you can do if you are not very confident, you can use a GP paper and roll over it. Just going to lift it and I'm going to place it. Now here you can see there are areas where there is no dough. What I am going to do is I am going to place this. Press it nicely. Once this is done, can you see, lined it properly, then what we are going to do is, we are going to clean the table and on this piece of paper, I am going to roll this small piece of dough for the lattice work. Now it is very soft. If I try to roll and cut, I will not be able to pick it up. So what I'll do is, I'll just dust this TP paper with a little bit of flour and then I will roll it. After I roll it, I'm going to keep it in the fridge for it to harden up. Once this hardens up, then we will cut it and place it over this. Okay. Now what this is hardened up. This dough which I kept in the fridge, so I am going to be a little. Now I am going to keep this over and I am going to spread the raspberry jam over the pastry. Swiss roll. Don't put too much and don't fill it up completely. Okay, a little bit. Be very careful because the pastry is quite soft at the bottom. Okay, once this is spread, then what we will do is, this we will take it out here and we will cut strips. Not very thin, not very thick. Okay. You can use a sharp knife. I like to use a pizza cutter. So I am using a pizza cutter. The edges of the strips have to be very sharp, clean cut. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now what we will do is, we'll start placing this. It's a little difficult, okay? What I'm trying to say is it might just break. Okay, so you have to be a little careful. Don't place it too close to each other because you need to see the jam, okay? And you see break also sometimes. Yes, you can arrange it. Very careful. Now this, again you can just bring it together and roll it because I need one strip here. So I will just roll it up a little bit. So it's very important that the dough for the strips hardens nicely, okay? Once it hardens up, then the placement becomes very easy, okay? But if it is soft, then there is a problem. I'm going to try with this soft dough now. If I can't, then I have to keep it in the fridge again. There we go. That is enough, I think. Now we will just cut the extra portion of the strips. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a little bit of the flaked almonds and I'm going to place them here. This is how you are going to place the almonds. If you wish, you can apply a little egg wash here so that the almonds stick. Then we are going to bake this Linzertorte at 180 degrees centigrade for about 25 to 30 minutes. After it is baked, we are going to cool it down completely and then we are going to cut. this. Can you see this? It's baked. It's cooled down completely, and I'm going to demold it very carefully. Don't try to demold the tart when it's hot, otherwise it's going to break. Okay. I'm going to place it here, and then I'm going to cut it into pieces. Okay. So you can cut it into 8 pieces. We can cut it into 6 pieces. I'm going to cut it into 6 pieces, 6 portions. Okay. So take a sharp knife and cut. The knife has to be really sharp. Now remember, this tart, Linzertorte, is always served with fresh cream. Okay. So, okay, 6 portions. After that, I'm going to lift up one portion very carefully. I'm going to place it. Then we can put it on a plate, on a dessert plate, and serve it with fresh cream.